excuse me, Friday, August 12th, 2022. I'm apparently choking on the speed at which the information about Trump and his misdeeds is coming in. It's all happening so fast, um, which is great. Uh, so Trump and his minions are screaming that the FBI didn't have probable cause, and it's a political witch hunt and all this bullshit. Like the the head of the FBI was appointed by Trump, um, and he was appointed to replace Comey, who Trump fired because who he's the official reason that he had fired Comey was that he politically went after and unfairly treated Hillary Clinton. That's the official answer. Although we all know that's not the reason. So the fact that now they're all going back and saying, why wasn't Hillary, blah, 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 she was protected by everybody. And Trump's actual official answer is that the FBI didn't go, actually went too hard on Hillary. So revisionist history. And their cognitive dissonance must make their heads just spin. But people like Elise Stefanik and fucking speaker, not the Speaker of the House, the minority leader in the House, Kevin McCarthy, are like, the FBI and the DOJ is being weaponized against Biden's FBI and DOJ are being weaponized against his political rival. He's not his political rival. Trump's not running for anything. So it's just it's just bullshit. But it's also fucking delicious because as Trump complains about how unfair this is, he's got a copy of the warrant. He could very easily, release that on his Truth Social platform, but he's not doing that. That warrant would say what they were looking for and why. The Washington Post has reported that part of what they were looking for was documents related to our nuclear weapons program. That seems like something Trump could have sold. Some of that information, because he wasn't holding onto that shit for posterity. Somebody said he only took he only kept the ones that he doodled on the side of, which I think is funny. But 100% he was selling secrets. And I think yesterday was the anniversary of the execution of the Rosenbergs, who sold secrets. They were spies in World War II. That's not funny. But there's just so much weird coincidence happening this week. The fucking Alex Jones phone stuff, finding out apparently Giuliani had been wiretapped for a couple of years, so that's a whole lot of information. But yeah, I mean these fucking morons that are still doing his bidding for him. I can't believe they don't see the writing on the wall, that they think that they can get away with trying to delegitimize the FBI and the DOJ, although some nut job just went after the an FBI building in Ohio. So they can all, thank themselves for that. They want to incite a civil war. That's been clear since January 6th and before. But I don't think they're going to succeed. I just think that if we've gotten to this point, if the Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice and the FBI are not going to go this far to search a former president's house unless they know what they're going to get, and they know that it's going to prove guilt. And if we can prove that, espionage, that he's literally selling government secrets to other countries, woo, that's jail. And so anyway, so Trump keeps, complaining about how unfair it was, and he could release the warrant, but he hasn't. So Merrick Garland, now this is, I have a feeling I'm going to owe Merrick Garland a big apology for complaining about him for the last year and a half, but he has requested that the DOJ unseal the warrant and make it public, and they have, I think, until 3 o'clock this afternoon, sometime today, to get it to receive an objection for an objection from Trump's lawyers, or I guess they, I don't know, do they release it or then they make the decision about releasing it? I don't know what happens. But I'm all on Twitter about the fact that maybe we could actually see the warrant sometime before this day is over. Because then we'll know what they were looking for and why, and whether or not the Washington Post is correct. Although I think, you know, former President Orange Toddler Dum actually confirmed what they were looking for by issuing a statement that, President Barack Hussein Obama, he always likes to throw the Hussein in there because it like riles up the racists, took 33 million documents from the White House, some of which were confidential. I wonder how many of those were nuclear. First of all, that's a lie. But the fact that he's throwing out the idea that maybe Obama took nuclear codes too, or nuclear secrets, um, like that's just such an admission of guilt right there. He's so fucking dumb. That's why it's impossible to believe that he's been getting away with this for so long. Um, so I hope finally we're getting some justice. And even though between all of the health issues that are going on and the climate and everything else that feels like end of days, if he can spend the end of days in an orange jumpsuit, I'm not going to be mad about that. And well, poor guy had a rough week. He had to go to the deposition and plead the fifth 440 times on his tax evasion investigation in New York. So, I believe he was the one who once said, "Only the mob pleads the fifth." Well, who never pled the fifth? Hillary Clinton. Anyway, so this is all very exciting. There's so much information that's being thrown about, and I don't know what's true and what isn't yet. But I do finally feel hopeful that that we're going to get at least a little bit of justice on one front. But it seems pretty clear that Giuliani is going to end up in the slammer. I think everybody who stuck with him for this long deserves it. The time to flip was a long time ago, because now it's too late. I don't think the Department of Justice or the FBI needs anybody else to make their case. So all those hangers on that have had their heads up his ass for so long, are probably guilty of something themselves, are screwed. And you know what? Couldn't happen to a better crowd of people.